Hey, rolling with the guru. I have my friend the Fatman here. He's getting ready to drop some knowledge on his greatest movies, with the his greatest top 10 movies. These are not necessary classic movies. These are top 10 movies we think are great movies. We may later on down the line do a classic movies. What we think classically is the top 10 movies. But right now, we're just talking about our favorites. I'm going to let the fat man start us off with his number 10 movie.
Thank you, Guru. It's good to be back, everybody. My top 10 movie, Lethal Weapon 1. And the series wasn't bad neither, but Lethal Weapon out of the series is number one for me. I really like the actors, they had good chemistry together. Um, I heard online they're supposed to be making a Lethal Weapon 5, but if they don't, that's fine. They're good movies. I would recommend them. And your number 10 movie?
My number 10 movie there is going to be Beverly Hills Cop. I'm going with my all time favorite Eddie Murphy movie. It's between that and Norbit, but because um Beverly Hills Cop came out first, and I know that's the movie that made him a mega star. And I always used to look at it over and over. I went with Beverly Hills Cop as my number 10. I just think it's a classic movie with Eddie Murphy in it. Eddie Murphy makes the movie. He's not over the top. It's before he actually did a lot of multiple roles. You know, multiple role movies. I would have to either pick the Nutty Professor or Norbit, but this is going to be my top 10 movie, number 10 for me. And your number 9 movie there, Fat Man?
My number 9 movie is Harlem Nights. Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Della Reese, all and everybody else that was in the movie. They did a that was the most funniest video movie that I have seen, and I have no problem with putting that at number 9. And you, Guru?
I agree. That's his classic movie. I could easily put that in my number 9 too, or a number top 10, I should say. So I have no problems with that. My number 9 movie is going to be Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, number 2. It's the classic Trekkie movie. It is perfect. That's all I can say. As a Star Trek movie, it's perfect. It explores all the characters, and it leaves you with the twist and turns of everything. Great movie.
I agree with you there. That is an awesome movie. My number 8 movie is Rocky, the first one. That was just very well done. Carl Weathers and Sylvester Stallone and Tosh. I can't say her name. Tasha.
Uh, I'm going to let you see. Put that one out.
This is my first day back. It feels good. I'm sorry. It's just a great movie, and the series and the rest of the movies up to four were excellent. You, Guru?
And for me, I understand how anybody can put Rocky in their top 10. If Rocky does not make my top 10 because it's not my favorite Rocky movie, and it's not the movie that I think is the best Rocky movie. I actually, just to give y'all spoilers, I think Rocky 3 is the best Rocky movie ever made. But that's just my opinion.
And you're right. That Rocky 3 is very well done. I like that movie. But I picked Rocky. You said I could only pick one, not
Right.
the whole thing. But the other movies were great.
I understand
The
why.
first one's always good. I really like the second one, but
I understand. It's your list. So,
yeah,
hey,
not
and
everybody going to agree.
right,
Right.
and I agree with that. And like I said, it just wouldn't have made my top 10, but it made yours, and I can understand it. And my number 8 movie is going to be Friday. It's a classic Ice Cube movie. It's hilarious. And when you can sit down and really listen to every single joke and see how it applies and what they're, it's just a classic. It's a movie that I looked at over and over and over again. And anytime it comes on, I look at it. So it made my list because of that. You, Fat Man?
I agree with that, but the number seven movie for me is God. No, Norbit is my number seven movie. Well done. I was hoping they make a part two. I don't know if they are or not, but it was very well done. We watch. It's my wife's favorite movie. It's just funny. That's all I can say. I can watch that 7 days a week, 24/7 if I choose to. That's how good it is. You, Guru?
And you've already heard me mention Norbit could easily made my top 10. So you know I have no issues with that movie. Um, my number seven movie is The Fugitive. That is my classic suspense movie that I just always love. It does something that I just makes me want to watch it over and over. And I know it's a good movie because it's supposed to be a suspense movie. And the catch with most suspense movies, once you know the twist, you don't have a reason to keep on looking at the movie. And this one, I know the twist, and I still come back and look at the movie. It works on many different levels, so that's why it makes my number seven.
All right, I agree. That's a good movie. Um, my number six movie is Beverly Hills Cop 1. Great, well done, and the other right on down the line. They're good movies, but the first one was very good. You Guru?
And you already know it's in my top 10, so I have no complaints with that. The next movie I have here is Frankenstein. Frankenstein is my classic horror, old time horror universal movie. It's number one. I thought it was well done on all points, all around, and for the time frame of when the movie was done back in the 1930s, it's a perfect movie for me, and that's why it makes my top 10.
Well, I agree, and we're gonna. The Frankenstein movie was very well done, and we're gonna do a segment on old horror monster movies, and we're gonna rank those. And that should be a good one because we both like the horror shows back in the day. They're still scary today. Okay, my number five is Star Trek Two: The Wrath of Khan. As you know, the Guru he loves Star Trek Two. I do too. I just got done watching the entire series all the way past seven. They're excellently done movies. I loved it. You Guru?
And you already know it's on my top 10. So
Yep.
you know I have no arguments about that. My number five movie is actually a superhero movie. It's going to be Batman The Dark Knight. I actually think it's one of the top superhero movies made of all time. Um, I have a superheroes movie list out there. You may want to check it out, but this movie is definitely worth watching if you like any type of superhero type of action movie. Period.
I agree with you there. And we're going to talk about the superhero movies too, and we're going to rank those. So stay tuned for that. My number four movie is Coming to America. I love the first one. I just got done watching that and the sequel to it, and it was good. I definitely recommend you check that out if you haven't already. You Guru?
I can't argue with you there. Coming to America is a classic Eddie Murphy movie, and I definitely can see how it could make anybody's top 10. My next movie, I'm going to go with a newer movie. I'm going with Avengers Infinity War. All the characters, action packed from the beginning to the end. The twist with the villain um, actually winning. Just awesome movie. It's the best and I'm probably spoiling this for y'all guys, but spoiler alert, it is the best superhero movie ever made, in my opinion. But like I said, I have a superhero list later on that y'all guys can check out.
And I agree that is probably the best super hero movie made, and we're gonna rank them too going down the line. My number two or my number three movie, The Wizard of Oz. That is a classic. I love The Wizard of Oz, and I can watch it anytime, day, night. It don't matter. Great movie, well done.
And the Wizard of Oz is, um, I can see why he would say that, and it can make anybody's top 10 um list. Um, my number three on my list is going to be Robin Hood, as the Robin Hood with Earl Flynn. It was an excellent movie, and when you think about that, it was made in the 1940s, it becomes an all-time classic. I remember as a kid looking at it and loving the movie, and still as a grown man, I look at the movie and I still love the movie, and I look at it over and over anytime it comes on. That's why it's high on my list. It's number three.
That is excellent. My number two movie, Star Wars 6 or Star Wars 3. I'm sorry, when he turned
You talking about New Hope?
no, the first three, one, two, and the third one we went and seen together.
Oh, you talking about Revenge of the Sith?
Yes,
That's your number two.
no, yeah, that's my number two movie out of that. That was everybody wanted to see how Annie turned to Vader. Oh, and you, Guru?
Well, I can definitely see how that would make your list. I have a Star Wars breakdown of all the Star Wars movies, how I've rated them, and I definitely can understand why that is so high on your list.
And we're gonna do a ranking of them too in another time. Go ahead.
And my number two was, and that's why I didn't want to go into the Wizard of Oz. My number two is the Wizard of Oz. It's a classic movie. It's a movie that I looked at when I was young. I looked at it with my family. I looked at it as a grown up. I looked at it with my kids. And I say that it's a movie that is always, always ranked as an excellent movie for adults to children. It's an excellent movie, excellently done, and that's why it's so high on my list, just like it is on the Fat Man's list.
Yeah, great movie. My number one movie is Jaws. Oh, at the first classic summer blockbuster movie, and it was done well. And people still today are scared to go in the water. And I love the ocean, but I don't think I'll be swimming too far out anytime soon. You, Guru?
And I understand why Jaws makes his list. Jaws can make anybody's top 10 list, and I'm here to confirm he won't go out in the ocean because he's scared of sharks.
No, you got he's scared.
But going back to my number
I
one,
taught you how to swim.
mm, going back to my number one, it's going to be The Godfather, the very first one. It's a classic. It's really what starts all the mob movies, and even among all the mob movies that have been made after it, it's still a classic. And it's a movie I can look at, and that's saying a lot since it's a very long movie. And I can look at it over and over again. So that's my number one on my list.
And it's nice. It's a nice. That is a good movie. You know. But
Yeah.
everybody got their own what they like and what they rank them. And so we're gonna also do a show on TV series, half-hour ones, and then another one on the 1 hour shows. And if there's one thing I want to say, I recommend you go to Netflix and check out Lucifer with Tom Ellis and Lauren German. Excellent series. We'll see you
Okay.
next week.
We'll see you next time. Rolling with the Guru. Here's the Fat Man.
Thank you.